Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Good Morning Soul. And today, I'm going to be doing another That Game I Played, doing a new batch of these. And this game is called Brink. I think it came out in like 2010, 2011? When did this come out? I want to say 2011. And I didn't play it till like a couple years after it came out because if you know anything about what I was doing as a teenager, it was playing really cheap ass video games, and fulfilling this collector mindset of getting whatever my hands on, whatever I could with my hands, and playing it sometimes to completion, even if I didn't really like the game. I know I didn't really like this one because this is a first-person shooter, and it very obviously is going for a very clean, slick style, which I like the aesthetic to this game. I think that's the best thing going for it because the gameplay itself is just this weird campaign meets online style where you're just doing like 8 missions, and these 8 missions are the only like 8 modes of the same style of matches, so it doesn't really matter if you're online or if you're just doing campaign because it's the one thing you can fucking do. And I'm pretty sure I was offline when I played this game, so I was just fighting the computer, which doesn't make it any better. And so I just remember this game being very boring and very dull, and the story here is something about like 2 factions fighting over this like ark, which is like this city on top of water or something, and there's like a missile at one point. It's really boring, is what I'm trying to say. And games like this also turn me off because literally all you do is shoot guns, and there's so many games where I can do that in a so much better way. I know that they're trying to make it like this like real fast pace, jumping over and parkouring on walls. It's crazy because modern first-person shooters like Destiny, for instance, looks like this game, like with the menus and the style. And then like I've seen like the Call of Duty games nowadays, very similar to Brink on terms of what you're doing, so maybe it was a little bit of ahead of its time, but obviously it just kind of fell to pieces. It was like these are the games that piss me off because I remember the last game I talked about, it was like Dark Void, which was a game trying to do so much but just couldn't fulfill that big those big shoes. And then you have a game like Brink where it's like I feel like they strategically didn't have enough and just packaged it and made it polishy enough to where they just put it out there and there was no consequences, and like people were like, oh shit, it looks like fucking Borderlands meets fucking Destiny. You know, Destiny doesn't even fucking exist yet. So they just went ape shit over it. And then like, oh yeah, it turns out it sucks. Because I've heard like multiple people like who I think spend full price money or something on it, and they were just pissed off. Which I would be too. I've spent $60 on a game that turned out to be pretty suckish. It's not a good feeling. It feels like you got robbed a little bit. But I feel like that's part of being a gamer. That's one of the stepping stones, is you waste $60 and you're like, I'm not doing that ever fucking again. So now you're a lot more hesitant to spend that $60. I can't remember the last time I spent $60 and I didn't like a game though. It's been a while. But talking about Brink, like it was, if you couldn't get me at the point I was playing this game to get into it and to like it, then I don't know what to tell you, because at this point I was willing to play anything. I was super open-minded, and I would have given you the time of day no matter what game you were. So for a person like me to like do all your modes, play from both sides of the story and all that, and still be like, 5 out of 10, which is what I believe I gave it, or a 2 out of 5 or something like that. That's no bueno. That's no bueno. This game, again, it just pisses me off like in this like weird personal way, because it's so fucking good looking and there's so much potential, but then it just falls to pieces. And I hate these shooters where it's like there's this guy on the fucking microphone who keeps yelling at you. And I remember I watched a couple of the videos, and every video I watched about this to prepare for this, there was always a guy in the background just yelling about these fucking command bases or whatever the fuck they are. And I remember specifically, if you hear a voice in your head for hours and you have to ignore it, that is a bad thing. There's so much audio information that could be given to you in that time, and it's literally you have to fucking ignore it. Fuck that. Fuck that entirely. Oh my god. I hate like the PS2 games where they repeat, like the bosses will repeat the same dialogue or something like that. That's annoying, but it's super annoying when you got to, throughout your entire gameplay, deal with a voice that does not matter. It's not even who you're trying to kill, so you can't take your rage out on it, you know? But that's pretty much it. This game feels alright. The shooting is alright. The character designs are alright. Well, actually, the character designs are pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie. And the style is there. The substance, however, is not. There's very little meat to this game, and I think that's why everyone hated it so much. And fair enough. But if there was a Brink 2 and they did it right, it could be a good game. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. I will reiterate that I'm giving this a 5 out of 10. Anyway, thank you so much as always. I'll see you tomorrow with another video, and until then, with that, I leave you.